Hello, my name is Dr. Zoë Slatoff, and I'm delighted to be teaching this course on the Aparokṣānubhūti for yogic studies. The Aparokṣānubhūti was the focus of my PhD dissertation at Lancaster University, and I've spent many years working on translating and contextualizing this beautiful text along with its commentaries. I will be sharing my original translation with you in this course. Although attributed to the 8th century Advaitic scholar Shankaracharya, the Aparokṣānubhūti was more likely written between the late 15th to mid-16th century, on the early side of the Advaitic response to the growing popularity of Hatha Yoga. It is unique for its incorporation of dualistic yoga teachings into the Vedantic system. The text consists of 144 verses written in shloka meter, where each pada, or quarter, of each verse has 8 syllables. The first 99 verses provide a traditional Advaitic viewpoint, emphasizing that the body is not the self, but merely the vehicle to the direct awareness of the self that the title of the text promises. Then, in verse 100, the text takes a turn, introducing its own unique Raja Yoga system, which incorporates the 8 angas or parts of Patanjali's system, although redefined here in terms of Brahman, the universal self. It adds 7 other components, including drishti, gaze, equilibrium of the body, and mulabandha, the root lock, also defined in terms of Brahman. The Deepika commentary on this text explains that the first 99 verses follow a traditional Advaitic method for the most qualified aspirant, the Mukhya Adhikari, or what I like to call the A student, and the following verses describe a more inclusive method for the mediocre aspirant, the Manda Adhikari, or B student. At the very end of the text, Hatha Yoga is mentioned as a last resort, even giving an option for the C student. In this 6-week course, we will look closely at the entire text of the Aparokṣānubhūti, as well as contextualize it in relation to contemporaneous Hatha Yoga texts, in order to understand how and why yoga and Advaita have been integrated together over time. We will explore the way in which Advaitic concepts such as nididhyasana, or contemplation, were expanded over time to include practices which allowed for the incorporation of dualistic yoga into non-dual Advaita Vedānta. This was done for the purpose of addressing the ripe or prarabdha karma of those who have not yet attained realization. At the end of the course, we will look briefly at how this is manifested in modern yoga, where the teachings of yoga, Sankhya, and Vedanta have become inextricably intertwined. While I will be sharing the Sanskrit text, no Sanskrit knowledge is necessary and all levels are welcome. The course will run on Tuesdays and Thursdays from mid-October through November, and although I hope you will join me live, all sessions will be recorded and shared for you to watch at your convenience. To share a bit about myself for those who don't know me, I have been practicing yoga since I was 15 and studying Sanskrit since my first trip to Mysore when I was 20 years old. I have a BA and MA in South Asian Languages and Cultures from Columbia University. In the interim between those studies and my PhD, I had a beautiful Ashtanga yoga studio in my hometown of New York City. I also wrote a Sanskrit textbook from which I teach called Yogavataranam, the translation of yoga, which integrates traditional and academic methods of learning. I am currently the clinical professor of Sanskrit at Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles, where I also teach yoga philosophy in the Yoga Studies Master's program, as well as Buddhism to undergraduates. It has always felt like my role to help build a bridge between scholars and practitioners, and the Aparokṣānubhūti holds a unique place in joining these two worlds together. I hope you will join me for this course. Thank you.